Wilson Morales, Black Film and TV. Hey, Malcolm.
How you doing, Wilson? What's going on?
Watch, man. Love the performance. At first, I was like, "Am I watching another version of Ike Turner here?" So talk to me about play this role, and did you do any research? How best did you want to play him outside of what's on script?
Look, I'm going to tell you the cliche thing, which is that it starts with the script, right? Like it's always going to start there because that's your base, and then after that, I watch video. Like there's sort of limited access to information about him, so there's a couple passages about him in certain books, and I read videos. I would watch. So he's actually in one of the Aretha documentaries, and I took every part of him in that documentary, all the clips, and strung them together and made a video that I would watch randomly before certain scenes, just to remind myself of the mannerisms, his intention, and his general aura when performing.
Uh-huh. How best do you describe him? Is he a man? Obviously, as you mentioned, there's not enough information on him. But the rest of the world will see him in a certain way. Are we getting the right story on him?
Here's what I feel. I don't know that there's any definitive story about anybody's life, because that's how long a life is. A life takes a lifetime to live, and I don't think anyone can truly understand it. But I think this is a story that I think anyone with a heart will empathize with, and it hopefully encapsulates an idea of his existence, and his relationship, his influence, and his character in relation to the story of Aretha. Because ultimately, this is Aretha's story, right? Ultimately, it's not anyone else's, it's hers. And so this is what that portrayal of that memory of that existence looks like through this lens.
Then there's working with Cynthia. Obviously, most of your scenes are with her, talking about working with her and establishing that chemistry as Ted and Aretha.
It's interesting, man. It's hard. And I mean this not even just with Cynthia in terms of just creating a relationship like this on camera. Excuse me for a sec. That's one of the harder parts of an actor's job, is that you have to be able to simulate a long-standing relationship immediately, right? And that takes building trust. And I think, that was one of the things that we tried to work. I did my best to ask her to make sure she trusted me, ask her questions about her character in relation to me, and build what this relationship looked like. And so that was, it's very hard because this is probably the deepest, one of the more difficult relationships I've had to create over a long-standing period of time with somebody, where it isn't friendship-based, right? Like, or solely friendship-based. Because a lot of times you're just going, hey, I have to have a friendship with somebody, so me and this person like chill and kick it and blah, blah, blah. It's very different when there's a lot of antagonism in that relationship, because it's not about creating antagonism in real life. It's about being comfortable with that person so that when you guys go to certain places, you understand that we are in character and doing a TV show, and are trying to do our best to tell that story.
What do you take away from playing this role? And you've worked on a number of projects, but this was a big role for you. A lot of people will see it. What do you take away from playing this role that you will take on to your next project?
I think one of the things that I took the most from this was just, it's always fun to use a new tool to expand in a way that people haven't seen you, because you can do a certain amount of things, and you've done that. It's like doing a backflip. You now go, okay, how do I do a double backflip? How do I do a double somersault? And so I think with the journey that these characters took and where I had to go emotionally, I think I'll be able to take that and use that for the next performance. There's no performance, no matter how big or small, that I don't keep with me and utilize to bring on to the next thing.
I think you did a good job here. Congratulations again on just getting the role, the performance. Obviously, I want to see more of you down the road, whether it be on TV or on film.
Thank you. I appreciate that much. Thank you very much, Wilson.